Hello beautiful souls, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for this reading. Today we're going to be taking a look at what blessings are coming your way, and specifically we're going to be asking your ancestors what blessings are coming your way through them. And today, as I'm filming this, happens to be Kali Chaudas, so that's basically a day celebrating Kali Ma, or the goddess Kali, and it's all about like removing negativity and all those types of things. So if you wanted to see a message, I'm gonna be reading from this guidebook just to see what Kali Ma has to say, and maybe I'll pull a card. I don't know, I haven't actually thought about that, but anyways, for this reading we have 4 piles here: pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. I'm gonna add the crystals and I'll be right back. And here I've added the crystals. For pile 1 we have a yellow azestolite, for pile 2 we have a selenite heart, for pile 3 we have a rose quartz heart, and for pile 4 we have an amethyst crystal. Pick whichever pile number or crystal is calling you most, and that is going to be your reading. Timestamps will be listed down below, as well as the decks that I use. That's always listed in the description box. There's also going to be an extended, so if you're interested in that, I'm going to put the reading breakdown right here. Check out the extended. The link for that will be in the description box as well. Alrighty, so we have Kali, goddess of destruction, disillusion, and ecstasy. You draw upon Kali when you are in a time of radical rebirth. She's fierce, erratic, untamed, the part of you that you're afraid to give full control because you don't know where it will take you. She will destroy all disillusion and bring you face to face with your darkest shadows, not to cause anguish, but rather from a deep place of love. She demolishes the ego that creates the boundary between you and your highest self. She's the ecstasy experienced in an orgasm, meditation, bold self-expression, or pushing a child out of the womb. Kali comes to you in a time of deep liberation, stepping into the truer form of you. Trust the process and allow yourself to release all limitations so you can become one with the bliss that you are. Look in the mirror. What is it that you are afraid to see? We all have parts of us that are less than perfect, but they can only be brought into the light through acknowledgement. Recognize those shadows, why they came to be, the purpose they once had, and how they are no longer needed. Write down the limiting beliefs you are holding on to that are preventing you from reaching your higher truth, and burn them into flames. Shake your body, scream, clear your house, let go of stale relationships, practice self-pleasure, free the parts of you that have been suppressed, and step into your wild nature to experience Kali's enlightenment. And another thing that I was getting as I was reading that was that Kali is also vastly misunderstood by a lot of people who maybe don't understand like the lore behind it, or like the energy of goddess Kali. They sort of look at it as demonic, but in actuality, it's just that fierce, dark, feminine nature that is there to protect us when our boundaries are being crossed, or when there's like a lot of evil around. And I say that like evil as in like a lot of things that are looking to cause us harm. Kali Ma, that energy comes out when we need that protection. So right now, because it's Kali Chaudas, we're respecting that energy. We're respecting and paying tribute and honoring that dark feminine, that force that protects us, that force that comes out when, again, when our boundaries are being crossed and things like that. So if you feel called to it, definitely check out Kali Ma and all of the energy of Kali Chaudas. But anyways, let's head into these readings. I just felt like I needed to give that message because I happen to be filming this on the day of, and it's actually a very powerful day. So obviously you're not going to see this on the day of Kali Chaudas, but you can still work with Kali whenever. But yeah, now enough rambling, let's get into these readings. Hello pile 1, you've chosen the yellow azestolite. I'm going to keep your crystal right here, and let's take a look at what blessing is coming for you. So these are your message cards. I'm going to keep these to the side for now. We'll look at them in the end. But we have strength. Ooh, I love this. 19 is reminding me of the Sun card as well, which both are associated with Leo in tarot. But we also do have Virgo here. I'm pretty sure that's Virgo. Yes. And this is a fire, what you may call it, Wow, I can't believe I'm blanking on this. This is a card associated with the element of fire. So with this strength card, I'm seeing a few different things. One, because like I said, it's associated, 19 is associated with sun, and the strength is also associated with Leo, as in the sun is associated with Leo. I feel like one of the blessings that's coming in is like things are becoming brighter, and there's like a warmth in your life that's coming in. Like if there's been anything that's been on standstill, or that's been like paused or kind of like frozen almost, maybe you know, things have been progressing slowly. I feel like the blessing that's coming in is those things are going to start picking up speed. There's like this renewed sense of fire and passion coming in. A renewed sense of purpose is also what I'm hearing. The other thing I'm getting is that your mind is becoming more clear. And so through this clarity, you're starting to see which thoughts are your intuition, or like what is your intuition and what is just fear and anxious thoughts. And you're learning to differentiate between the two, which is helping you like move forward. And it's just giving you more peace. Like your mind seems to be strengthening. And through this strengthening process of your mind, you're getting more peace out of it. Because your mind is capable of, like, it's like your mind isn't going to just fall into the trap of anxious thoughts. And even if that happens, it will break itself out because of this strength that's coming in mentally. Like this is mental strength. The other thing that I'm getting is that, just a side message, some of you might actually be having more time and more energy to go to the gym if that's something that you've wanted to do, or like just exercise. Maybe if you've been like, if you were exercising and then you fell off because maybe you haven't had as much energy. Like I said, there's this renewed sense of purpose, this renewed sense of fire, like a renewal happening here. And through that, I feel like for some of you, you're just having more energy to work out, to exercise, to take action towards your physical goals. But if that doesn't apply, again, it's just that you're becoming stronger, like mentally stronger, emotionally stronger, physically as well. And there was one more thing coming to me. Okay, yeah. You're having the strength to actually work on the seeds that you've been wanting to plant. So like if you've had these lofty dreams that you've just kind of been like, oh, that would be nice, but you know, like maybe you didn't have the energy to work towards it or whatever. Like you had these dreams, right? And it was kind of, it's just been in your head. You've just been like fantasizing about it. But now the blessing that's coming in is that you're turning those dreams into reality. You're starting to take actionable steps towards those dreams. You're starting to believe in yourself and believe in your ability to take actionable steps towards your dreams. And obviously everybody's dream and everybody's situation is going to be different, so take what applies. But yeah, let's get some more cards. I haven't actually pulled a tarot deck, so let's see. All right, so I felt called to use this deck for you guys. And this is the Animal Orion's tarot deck. So somehow your ancestors might have been related, or not related, but like may have come from a background or a culture that heavily worshipped or looked to animals for guidance. Like I'm right off the top of my head, I'm thinking of like Native Americans or the Egyptian culture or even the Hindu culture. Like there's so many different cultures that obviously use animals in their mythology or worship animals and have it part of the culture. But anyways, so that could be a really large range of cultures, but that's what's coming through to me because I felt called to use this deck for you guys. And also one more thing that I kept getting with this is, again, that message of renewed purpose. Like there's a renewed purpose, a renewal of some sort happening here, a revival of some sort. And this could just be the revival to move forward, the revival to continue going, the revival of your energy somehow. Yeah, like the blessing that I keep hearing from your ancestors is that there's a revival and a renewal coming. So yeah, let's see what blessings are coming in for you, pile 1. Pile 1's ancestors, what blessings are coming in for pile 1? Ooh. Okay, so we have the Tower here and the Four of Cups, and don't be scared because this is a blessings card. So the blessing here is that actually I'm feeling a few different things. Again, that revival, like we were talking about, this seems to be specifically in terms of your emotions. So your emotions may have been feeling a little down, or maybe you've been feeling a little bored or like apathetic towards life, maybe, or just towards something. There may just have been like kind of a boredom around you, but I feel like that's being revitalized. Again, as we said with the Strength, there's like this renewal happening, and the Tower coming here as a blessing is like, this is a Tower moment, a moment of shaking things up, but in a good way. It's a blessing. So maybe for some of you, this is a new job offer coming in to spice things up, and like it's a job that you are more excited for, that's more in alignment with you, that isn't really boring. Or this could be a relationship that's coming in that's much more exciting, a friendship, romantic relationship, whatever, take it as it applies. This could be so many things for so many of you, but the blessing I'm seeing here is like something is coming in, and something is coming in strong to bring excitement in your life. And again, the Tower as a blessing is shaking things up, but in a good way, in a way that you feel good, you feel alive. Like I'm feeling like this aliveness, and that's the blessing that's coming in, is that you're going to start to feel more alive and more passionate about life, about whatever it is. Like, of course, apply it to your situation. It could be any number of things, and I feel like this is something you've been asking for in specific, that you maybe had lost hope on happening, that you've been asking for from spirit, from your ancestors, from your guides, like, or just from whatever, like the universe, from whatever higher power, and that intervention is coming in to bring it to you. And it may come in a way that you don't expect, but I'm hearing that unexpected energy is exactly what you need to revive things, to make things a little bit more spicy. Like, I don't know why I keep wanting to say spicy. Maybe you guys like spicy food or something, or maybe this is just gonna feel like spicy. I don't know. That's such an interesting thing. The other thing I'm getting, we have the Three of Wands here at the bottom of the deck, is that this could also be a revival that's moving you out of your current situation. There's like something that you're finally being able to move towards, kind of like what we were saying with Strength, that like maybe you've been stuck for a while. You may have been stuck for a while, and now there's finally the energy that you needed to move forward. Like things are thawing is also another thing I'm hearing. And with this, I also got another message that for those of you who have just recently gone through a major life change or a major shakeup in life, maybe you of course there's going to be so many situations that this could apply to, but like your foundation may have been shaken up. This is not saying that if you've just went through that, it's going to happen again. But for those of you who already went through something like that, and you're just coming out of like the Tower moment, things are becoming more steady. Things are evening out, and through that, it's like the blessing that's coming in is like you're finally moving to calmer waters. It's kind of reminding me of like Six of Swords type of energy, where it's like you just went through the storm and you just went through all this chaos, and now you're finally coming into a period of time where it's like it's mellow, it's calm, almost boring, but in a way of like peace. It's like you're finally getting some peace, and you might be really ready for that. Like, you might just want things to be a little boring. It's reminding me of this scene in a movie. It's an Indian movie, where, like, I guess throughout the night it was like chaotic. So the main like character, she's like, God, just make this night super boring from this point on, because it's been way too chaotic. And yeah, and that's kind of what I'm seeing here, is like, if you have gone through a period of intense chaos, or like just things being really shaken up, you're finally coming into a period of things slowing down and becoming more steady and calm and peaceful. And I feel like you're just ready for that. Like, you're ready for things to be more calming and less chaotic. So let's take a look at what doorway is opening for you. Let's see what doorway is opening for you. Pile 1's ancestors, what doorway is opening for Pile 1 during this time? Wow. Also, I would want to mention that you're getting a lot of cards in pairs of 2. Like, my intention wasn't really to have these cards come, like, I was intending for 1 card for each thing, but yours are coming in pairs of 2, and I think somehow that's significant for those of you who are looking for relationship. This may specifically mean that the blessing that's coming through is in the form of a relationship. For others of you who that does not apply to, if you are in a relationship, then this is like that the energy of that relationship is becoming closer, more revitalized. Or if relationships doesn't apply at all to you, this is just like you getting closer to both sides of you, the duality of who you are. Even this death card, we have 2 fish here. So like, the portal that's opening for you is greater balance. And I want to say, because we have temperance here and death, and temperance actually comes after death, but the way I laid it out, it's like it's coming first and then we have death. I'm also getting this feeling that something that you were once working towards or once working on, that you may have had to leave for other circumstances, is coming back. And maybe that's what that renewal energy is, and that's what that portal is opening. It's like giving you this opportunity to step through this portal of something that you once wanted, but for some reason, like, things didn't align at that moment. Yeah, so take that as only if it applies for you, and you'll know because you'll have likely already been feeling it. And I almost feel like you're gonna, like, as I'm saying that, it's gonna feel like a hope renewed in that thing. So yeah, anyways, with temperance and death coming through here for what portal or what doorway it's opening for you, is this change, is this ability to finally find balance. Like, I feel like, again, things have maybe been a bit chaotic, or maybe been tipped to one side, and there's finally this doorway opening for you that is going to allow for more balance and more harmony in your life. And this is major because you have 2 major arcanas here. I wonder what's at the back or the bottom of the deck. We have, wow, 3 of Cups. So we saw the 3 of Wands and 3 of Cups. Somehow repeating numbers could also be significant. That might be a sign from your ancestors that they're trying to reach out to you. When you see repeating numbers, specifically, I'm thinking of 3s and 2s, but also 6. I heard 6. So I didn't see a 6 here, but 6 could somehow be significant. Yeah, there's like the doorway that's opening up for you is balance. It's finally putting an end to any chaos, or if you haven't been in a period of chaos and you're on the opposite end where things have just been very boring and very lifeless, then it's putting an end to that. I'm hearing that, like, because we have these 2 coming up, if you've been learning a lot of lessons, this could be that the doorway that's opening up for you is finally a time of integration and moving away from learning lessons. Not to say that, like, you're never going to be learning lessons, or that you're not going to learn any more lessons or anything like that, but more of like these harsh things or whatever has been shaking up your foundation, only if like you've already gone through a tower moment. If you haven't, then this is more of just things balancing out in your life and that revitalization happening. And the doorway that is coming up is like bringing the doorway is like allowing you to put to rest those things that don't bring balance. But anyways, going back to those of you who have experienced this tower moment recently, you're finally, like, the doorway is finally opening up where you can integrate those lessons and just, again, like, be in that peaceful energy, enjoy connection, because for some of you, maybe you haven't really been able to enjoy too much connection with others. Maybe you felt a little bit alone or just kind of a little bit isolated during this time of the tower. And even if you were around people, you may not have felt like you were truly enjoying their company because you're so trapped in your own situation. And I feel like that's the doorway that's coming, is closing that out so you can finally enjoy the company of others, enjoy your current situation or your life in general, and just like have more meaning in life and move through with more meaning. So whatever situation you're in, take what applies to that. If this is like things shaking up to bring in the blessing, this doorway is literally is like similar to this. It's like this doorway is bringing this blessing in. Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah. Thank you, Padawan's ancestors. This doorway is bringing in this blessing for some of you. So perhaps, like, my intention with this was the doorway that would be opening during this time of the thinning of veils. So for some of you, this could be happening like literally within this ending of October, beginning of November. But whenever this happens for you, you'll be moving through this doorway, and it's going to bring these blessings in. And again, it's like you're putting to rest anything that doesn't allow for balance in your life, and anything that has been keeping you imbalanced or keeping you feeling like rocky is what I'm hearing. So now let's take a look at what you're leaving behind. So Padawan's ancestors, what are they leaving behind during this time? What are they leaving behind? What are they closing the door to? However you want to say it. Thank you. Ooh, we have this star. Yeah, like I was saying, you're leaving behind any like major healing work. Like I'm getting the feeling that you've already done. Ooh, we have the moon. Wow, this is wild. Look at how many major arcana you have. Like basically all of your cards are major. This is a lot of major things going on in your life. This is not little energy. This is not day-to-day stuff. Like, this is some big shit here. It's interesting because the star comes after the tower here. So you're leaving behind this period of time where you've been doing a lot of clearing and healing, where maybe you've been doing a lot of ancestral healing as well. You're leaving behind this constant like healing, if that makes sense, because if we're constantly healing, then we can sometimes stop enjoying life, because it's like we're constantly working through one thing or another, and it's like, then when are we just going to enjoy? When are we just going to be present? You're leaving this behind so you can just experience life in this moment right now. Like, you've already done a lot, and now it's the time to just kind of reap the rewards of what you have done and just be present with everything that is going on in your life currently, and with all of the changes you've already made. The other thing I'm seeing with the star and the moon here, what you're leaving behind is this like false illusions, or illusions of false hope, or holding on like to hope that wasn't really in alignment with you, or just illusions in general. I see you releasing and moving away from illusions and fears too. Fears that the things that you want aren't going to work out. I see you moving away from that sort of mentality or that sort of way of life where it's like you're almost expecting things to go wrong. I see you moving away from that and rather embracing the idea that I can even if things go wrong, I still have me. So I will learn and grow from that situation, and I can trust and have faith in myself to do so. But the other thing is that I can also embrace a mindset of what if things go right. And it's kind of interesting because this message came up in the last reading I did. So if some of you were called to that pile, then maybe this is just confirmation for you that that's exactly what you're leaving behind, is that sort of mindset, that sort of energy. Anything you've been fearing that has made you lose hope or made you hold on to false illusions is what you're letting go of, because that fear is starting to fade and is no longer having control over you. And the last thing I'm hearing with this is that you're no longer attached to a specific outcome. So you're leaving behind any attachments to a specific outcome, but rather you're embracing yourself, and you know and have faith in your ability to navigate your life in any circumstance. So even if circumstances come up that you would never have expected, you are starting to have more faith and belief in yourself to navigate those things. And again, it also is highlighting what we were talking about with the waiting, or a period of slowness or something that wasn't working. You're also leaving that slow energy behind. It seems like things are picking up for you. There's a lot more momentum happening, and it's this revitalization that we were mentioning as soon as I tapped into your reading. It's that revitalization that's coming through. And I also feel like you're no longer denying yourself the things that you desire. For some reason, I keep wanting to, fear keeps coming up, and it's like you're no longer denying what you truly want out of fear of not getting it. You're rather just okay, even if I don't get it, something better will come, or I still have myself, I still have me, and so I'll still keep moving forward. It's not gonna break me, but that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna go for it. So yeah, you're leaving behind this not going forward or not towards something out of fear of it not working out. And so you almost just oh, okay, then if the fear keeps you from taking action, now you're not sitting in that. So now we're going to take a look at your advice and close out this reading. And if you want to join in the extended, the link for that is going to be in the description box. So we have the 5 of Swords here. And for some reason, every time I see this card, I want to mention the 5 of Wands. But I know that this is the 5 of Swords. So somehow the 5 of Wands could be relevant as well. We have Pitta and we have Standstill. Yeah, so these are your messages from your ancestors. So anything that has been at a standstill, Pitta is about it could be seen in 2 different ways. One, it could be seen as alchemizing the energy of water and fire and using those 2 to move forward. But it can also Pitta does translate to father. So that masculine energy and that surge forward. And it is interesting because strength, again associated with Leo, those can be a very masculine energy, and with 19 here in the Sun card, that is also a very masculine energy. So your message here is that you're moving away from just being in dreamland and just fantasizing about something to actually putting in the work to get there. Things are moving more easily for you. The path is opening up for you to take that movement, and any frustrations that you've been dealing with, anything that has been really frustrating you, that because you've been trying to take your shot and it's like you've been missing every time, that's coming to an end as well. Your blessing is that you're finally making your shot, you're finally getting it, whatever it is that you've been shooting for. And again, like, if there has been these intense tower moments that you've been going through and a lot of change and a lot of like chaos, things are becoming still for you. And on the opposite side, if you've been in a standstill for a long time, because you know the interesting thing with Pitta is I'm getting the sense that both could be true. You could have been experiencing a lot of chaos and also been at a standstill. You know, the two of those could actually work together. Like, for example, maybe you've been going through a lot of like rough periods in terms of your life, your personal life, your home, your situations like that, but there may be a standstill in your job, or maybe a standstill in your finances, or like something could be at a standstill while another thing is being very chaotic. So both could actually apply to you, you know. But either way, the blessing here is that things are balancing out. You're finally making your shot. You have that energy, like a revitalization, so that you can actually make your shot. You can actually go after the things that you've been desiring to go after and make it happen. Like, you're finally getting your opportunity. Wow, that's huge. That's coming in really strong. You're finally getting your opportunity with whatever it is that you've been looking forward to. This seems like major life stuff because, again, we've had a lot of major arcana come through here for you. So there's a lot of major life stuff that is specifically being highlighted here for you, but take what applies to your situation. And I kind of want to read from this deck, so let's see what... I just got a message from your ancestors saying that for any area of your life that has been feeling very slow or feeling very like cut off, or you know, like this standstill here, we were doing it for your protection because there was other things that needed to be cleared out before you could move in this area. It's almost like you were doing a lot of clearing to help yourself move more freely in this area, and they were protecting you from just going forward, because if you had just gone forward without doing that clearing, you would have ended up in a deeper situation where, like, I'm almost thinking of quicksand, where it would have drawn you in, but then you would have been stuck. And so your ancestors are coming through to be like, we were trying to protect you, or we were protecting you so that you could take that time to really move through it with the knowledge that you needed, like with the wisdom that you needed, and work through anything that needed to be worked through. The fiery dosha, powerful, strong-willed, and feisty. Fire and water are the two most powerful elements which can create and destroy anything. Together they create pitta, which is empowering you today. You are in a determined place in your life. You know what you want, and a fire has been set under your seat to achieve it. You are setting goals for yourself and focused on the task at hand. Perhaps this is a time to emerge as a leader and teach others your strength and wisdom. That's wild. You are transforming the world with your actions. Just don't lose connection with the water within you, and remember to play. Has the fire you were fueled by now burned you? When pitta is upside down, chances are your fire has depleted. Perhaps you are so focused on the next step that you forgot to remember the greater picture. It's easy to become caught up in the day-to-day when pitta is in command. However, too much pent-up fire can cause anger, agitation, and impatience. Allow yourself to go with the flow. Life doesn't always go your way, and that's what makes it beautiful. Ease and grace are your mantras, and cooling fruit and vegetables are your medicine. So I feel like that was your message, but for most of you, again, I'm getting the sense that you've already gone through a lot of upheaval, and so now it's coming into balance, and you've learned through this upheaval, it's like you've learned how to balance out your fire and your water, how to create that harmony between the two, and that's what your blessing is, and that's what you're walking through. Even if you haven't yet come to that place right now, that's exactly what your blessing is. And so that's the doorway you're walking through. Okay, so I was just about to start the extended, but pile 1, your ancestors wanted me to include this in the regular portion, that they understand. I wanted to say we, so I'm just going to say it as it's coming to me. We understand that you've been frustrated for so long, sometimes even frustrated at us for not leaving you much to work with, and maybe for leaving you a lot of shit to work through. That's not how they said it, but that's how I'm saying it. We understand that and we apologize. It wasn't exactly in our intentions. We just did the best that we could in the moment, but we've been really working very hard for you so that you can clear this energy out of our lineage, and so that you can live a good life, because our intention is only to help you be where you want to be in life, to live the life that you want to live, to get the most out of your life experience. We didn't get that necessarily. Those opportunities didn't come to us. So we're trying to give you that opportunity. And yeah, it's a lot of work, and we're so proud of you for having gone through it and for continuing to go through it. And we understand your frustrations, but just know we're here, we're supporting you, and we will continue to support you. And enjoy your blessings, truly enjoy them, because you earned them. Okay, that was it. Now we're going to move into the extended. Anyways, pile 1, if you're not going to be joining me in the extended, this is where I'm going to be leaving your reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this reading for you. Thank you so much, pile 1's ancestors, for coming through in this reading. I hope that these blessings find you in the highest way possible for your highest good. If this reading resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Be sure to hit the bell icon so you're notified when I upload. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I'll catch you in another video or reading. Bye. Hello, pile 2. You've chosen the selenite heart. I'm going to keep your crystal right here. Now let's take a look at what blessing is coming in for you. These are your message cards. We'll take a look at that after. And so we have vitality and hope. All right, I love this because right off the bat, first of all, I just realized there's 2 Taurus here. So Taurus energy is incredibly powerful, powerfully coming through. Taurus season could be really significant for you. That would be next year because we already passed that. Or maybe a Taurus moon, I'm also hearing, could be incredibly powerful. Or you guys possibly could be a Taurus sun, moon, or rising, or just have significant Taurus in your chart. If that does not apply, then I'm getting the sense that this is about steady movement forward, steadily working towards something, towards yourself or towards a goal. It's kind of similar a little bit to pile 1, but yeah, there's a little similarity here to pile 1. Actually, before I get too deep into these messages, I had a few things come up and I wrote them down. When I was shuffling your message card, these cards and your message cards, they took a little longer to come out, and when they did, there was like several that came out, and so I had to like reshuffle. Specifically 3 kept coming up, so somehow 3 energy for you could be very significant or important. I'm also noticing that there's a 3 here and a 3 here as well. And yeah, so 3 is associated with Gemini. Gemini energy could also be significant. We do have an air element on this card, so air energy, but that deals with our mind and communication. I also had a feeling that pile 2 and pile 3 were connected, but now I'm starting to see there might be a similarity in general. Maybe this is just the time, I don't know. But the other thing that I was getting is that your mind might be overstretching a fear to make it worse than what it is. And it seems like the blessing that is coming in is that you're kind of starting to recognize where maybe your mind over, like, what is the word, like, expands a fear into this big thing that it really isn't, you know, makes it out to be this big thing that it really isn't. So that may only apply for some of you. But now let's actually get into these two cards here. We have hope and vitality. So when we look at it just literally, the blessing that's coming in is that there's more hope. You feel more hopeful. Something is literally coming in that's going to revitalize your hope in a situation, in your life, in a relationship, whatever it is for you. There's something happening here that's going to revitalize that hope. There's a transformation that's happening here, a shedding of something old that is going to revitalize this hope. And figs are also, I'm pretty sure, associated with fertility. I'm going to look that up actually. Yes, they are. They are usually associated with fertility. And many people say that figs can help you in your fertility. So there's something that is growing here. That's the blessing that's coming in isn't necessarily the hope and the vitality itself, but there's a situation that's coming in, or a situation that's happening, and we're going to look at that with the tarot, that your ancestors are saying is going to revitalize this hope and this vitality for that situation, for your life, for whatever. And it's bringing more fertility in. Also, on another note, if you guys watched the last tarot reading I did, the messages, if you were drawn to the pile that was talking about fertility and stuff, then I'm pretty sure, and I'm using the same tarot deck for you guys, so that might be significant. If you were drawn to that pile, then this seems to be like confirming that blessing that's coming in. If you weren't, it's not like that this isn't your reading. It's that that was just for those who needed extra confirmation. But your ancestors are highlighting here that there's a renewal happening, more hope and more vitality and more energy to put towards a certain situation. So if you've been feeling hopeless, or you've been feeling like a lack of energy, which again, this is similar to pile one. I don't know if this is maybe just the time, and like a lot of people are going through something similar, but yours doesn't seem as I don't want to say catastrophic, but that's the word that came up as pile one. I feel like yours is more on a day-to-day level, on a more of a like physical day-to-day type of thing. Pile one was more of like energetic. Yours seems a little, and like soul level, yours seems a little more grounded in your day-to-day life and things of that nature. Especially because we have Taurus coming up twice, this could heavily deal with your finances, because Taurus deals with the second house, which is finances, material possessions, things of that nature. So this could very well be revitalizing your finances. Maybe you're starting to see a greater income come in, or maybe your bills are reducing. Somehow there's like a hope that, okay, or, I just got something. If you've been working on like a side project and trying to make money that way, like side money or hustling through different projects, that those things are also coming through here. And it seems like there's a revitalization happening in your energy, which is then leading you to be able to bring more energy, for lack of a better word, to those side projects, and it's helping to increase your finances. And somehow the blessing that's coming through here is that your finances are also going to be impacted obviously this is blessing, so in a good way. For some of you, the health of your pets is also improving. That is a very specific message. So if your pet has been dealing with health issues, I see that the blessing coming here is that is improving the health of your pet, or any family members that may have been going through some health related issues. This could even be you. That is improving, and I'm hearing that your ancestors are saying if this is you, you're doing a lot of like research to help yourself get better, if that makes sense. Like you're implementing new practices and new routines that are supporting your health and supporting you, and you're feeling better. And if this is like a family member, you may be suggesting things to them, or maybe like somehow they're doing that research. Anyways, that like may only apply for some of you, but the animal thing could also be that you're doing research and starting to implement a new routine for your pet that might be helping with their health. But either way, there's like a renewal in health here. It seems like better health is on the horizon, is what I hear. And there's just a general rejuvenation of hope. So let's take a look. Okay, there's, your ancestors are saying something else too. There's this message of like hope for the future. So this blessing too is, I feel like you're no longer looking in the past. Somehow like you're done living in the past and you're done looking in the past, and it's helping your mind and your energy in general to feel free and more hopeful for the future, and to take more practical steps in the now, in the present. So it's like you're releasing the tension of the past and releasing this need to constantly claw at what happened in the past, and that's revitalizing your energy. And so you feel like you have more to give to your current situation, to your future. Yeah, okay. And I'm hearing like no more BS, no more bullshit. Like you're cutting that out, so you're not tricking yourself, or you're not like there's this feeling of no longer lying to yourself and no longer believing in the BS, no longer giving into the BS of life. You're not here for it anymore. You're gonna focus, like your focus is more on what's important to you rather than those types of things that drain you. But definitely a revitalization in your finances is happening here, so that's a beautiful thing. Now let's see what blessing is coming in for you. So pile 2's ancestors, what blessing is coming in for pile 2? Pile 2's ancestors, what blessing is coming in for pile 2? Whoa. Okay. Oh, that's a lot, but... So with the Ace of Pentacles here, I love that this came out because that just confirms what we were saying. Like there's a revitalization in your finances. The blessing that's coming through is greater. This could also be a seed here, like an idea, or like maybe you're investing in something that's paying off. But the blessing is like an investment of yours is somehow paying off, and it's starting to take seed and it's starting to sprout. And there's a potential here with the Six of Wands, like a potential for victory. Like the Six of Wands is all about victory, being seen, celebrated. So like you're celebrating your finances. The blessing that's coming in is like you're celebrating something you've been working towards. Again, like we mentioned, if you guys had a side project or something that you've been putting a lot of energy and work towards, that is a major blessing that's coming through. So these two cards came out as well. But your ancestors are saying to keep it aside and look at them after. So that's what we're going to do. Either way, there's definitely, you're being seen. Like, I'm curious Do some of you guys have a business maybe, or again, like a side hustle, or maybe you've been put into the spotlight? Because the blessing here is that you're being celebrated, specifically at your job. Like if you guys have a job and maybe you've been trying to implement a new idea there, or maybe you've been trying to implement some new things, like I see that going well for you. I also feel like for those of you who are in the spotlight, this is growing. Your spotlight energy is growing. Yeah, the blessing that's coming in is you're going to be seen, and it's whatever you're being seen as increasing your finances. So this could also be like being seen for a job specifically, you know, maybe you put in your resume, that was that potential, the seed that you planted by putting in your resume, and they have chosen you. Like the company looks at you and they enjoy your energy, they like you, and so they offer you a job. And that could be like a very basic thing that's happening for others of you. I just realized these petals got all messed up. But for others of you, this could be in your own job, in your own pursuits, in your own side hustle or whatever. Like somehow you're being recognized, and you may even be getting an award. For some of you, you could be getting an award for the work that you've put in. Yeah, there's greater recognition happening here, a reward, financial, finances being highlighted. So your finances are increasing, which is all really beautiful stuff. Like, this is amazing. I love this. Yeah, I feel like there's really not much else that I could say about this. I'm also hearing that for some of you, your family situation is clearing up. Like, if there's been some conflict in your family, that is somehow like being resolved. Not that these two cards deal with that, but that's just something that's coming through as a blessing. Is like there's no longer so much friction. So for those of you who have been dealing with some family stuff, that is coming through here. But yeah, overall it's like you're finally, ooh, you know, the other blessing too is that you're starting to see your own worth, and you're starting to appreciate and celebrate yourself, celebrate your wins. It's like you're taking small steps towards something, and every time you take a step, you celebrate that step. You starting to celebrate your wins, because you're not seeing wins as, oh, this big thing. It's like even the small things can be considered a win. Maybe even if you haven't reached an outcome yet, the small step you take towards that outcome can also be a win. So I feel like I see you here celebrating your wins and really just celebrating you. And your effort, any effort you put into anything, you're starting to celebrate it. It's like you're just really appreciating and honoring you. And I love that I put the selenite on this pile, because selenite is like a recharging stone. It recharges whatever it touches. It's a cleansing stone as well. It cleanses. And so I feel like things are being cleared out. Things are being cleansed for you. There's like, I want to say purity. So you might be coming back to the roots of something, coming back to the essence of something. For some of you, I also wanted to mention, because I chose this deck in specific for you, your ancestors might be linked to areas of water. So maybe like islands, any area that has heavy bodies of water. Or maybe your ancestors really worked heavily with water, or like the marine kingdom. So maybe tuning back into that, maybe working with water could be beneficial for you. Being around water, going to the ocean, lakes, whatever, bodies of water, and just enjoying the sounds, like the soothing sounds of water, could be beneficial. The other thing I'm getting is like with fertility, like we were mentioning with fertility here, and the Ace of Pentacles, which is also about like that seed and something sprouting into, and something having the potential to be very fertile. I do feel like, again, the blessing is fertility, and something you planted is now finally ready to sprout or blossom, depending on the stage that it's in. This could literally deal with plants. So maybe for some of you, your plants are doing very well. Let's see what doorway is opening for you. And I wanted to see this specifically because this time right now is such a like powerful time for like stepping through that. It's such a powerful time of the veil thinning and spiritual work, and like the energies just being much more pronounced, and like you can just feel things, like things are just different. They feel different. So I wanted to see what doorway specifically is opening for you. So pile 2, pile 2's ancestors, what doorway is opening for pile 2? Can we get one? Thank you. We have the Queen of Cups here. So as a doorway that's opening up, I feel like this is you tuning into your emotions. It's kind of interesting because there was a message in pile 1 of tuning into their emotional body, and I also hear that for you. So the doorway that's opening up for you is this ability to have greater understanding of your emotions, of your emotional body, of tuning into your emotions. The doorway is also like helping you to tune into your feminine energy, helping you to bring and breathe more life into whatever it is that you're working on, whether that's just your overall life in general or your projects. I also feel like you're walking in, ooh, wow. The doorway that's opening up for you is all about ideas. Like you're getting so many ideas. So if I were you, pile 2, I would keep your notes tab like available for you, or some type of notepad or something, so that you can write down all the ideas that are coming to you, because it seems like that doorway is opening up for ideas. It's like an abundance of ideas are going to be coming to you, and you're just open to receiving downloads from spirit and from the universe. Like you're open to receiving downloads. You're open to receiving. Ooh, I love that. Pile 2, the doorway that's opening up for you is that you're finally open to receiving. And you're more receptive to gaining wealth, recognition, whatever it is. Like you're more receptive. You're stepping into this yin energy of being much more receptive, much more go with the flow, allowing for flow in your life. It also seems like your life is going to be flowing at a much steadier pace, in a much more steady rhythm through this doorway opening. Yeah, I love that for you. Also, for some of you, crown chakra activation could be happening because this crown is speaking to me. And shells, maybe working with shells, but I'm hearing like you're filling your shell with life. So it's no longer an empty shell, it's being filled with life. So I love this for you, pile 2. This is amazing. Let's see what you're leaving behind. So what is pile 2? Pile 2's ancestors, what are they leaving behind? What is pile 2 leaving behind? It's like walking through this doorway, you're gonna find that things just flow to you, and you don't really have to do much. It's almost like an effortless energy. Walking through this doorway feels a lot more effortless. And feels a lot more freeing to you. You're free to be you. And go with things at your own pace. Yeah, the pacing, somehow pacing is coming up. So like the pacing of your life could be becoming more fluid or something along those lines. But yeah, let's see what you're leaving behind. What is pile 2 leaving behind? Okay, we have the Knight of Cups. This is a lot. I don't really want to take all of these, so we're just going to look at it. But I feel like the Knight of Cups is most significant here. But we do have the World, Page of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Eight of Pentacles. So I feel like what you're leaving behind is an old chapter, an old cycle that you've been working to like end. It's like you've been taking steps slowly but surely. I'm hearing like it's been a 10-year cycle that you've been in. Maybe this for some of you is like an old job that just no longer is like, it's just not doing it for you anymore. It just feels too routine, too lifeless. And yeah, it may have required more effort on your part, but it wasn't rewarding you the way you wanted to. And I feel like that might be why some of you were applying to a new one, and that is the blessing that's coming in. But if this doesn't have to deal with work, like as in traditional work and career, this could be like you putting in effort into something that just was not giving you what you wanted, and that's what's coming to an end. Is like maybe you just in general tend to put in a lot of effort towards things, and I feel like what's coming to an end here, what you're leaving behind, is the need to overwork yourself to somehow prove something to another, to gain appreciation or recognition from other people through the hard work that you put in. But rather you're putting in the work that feels right for you because you enjoy it, not because you need to prove anything to anybody else. So what you're leaving behind is this need to prove your worth or prove yourself to another. This could be like seeking approval from parents, or seeking approval from your boss, or seeking approval from somebody of authority that may have like you may have developed this since childhood, which is a common thing, you know. Many people go through this, and I feel like that's what you're leaving behind, because now you're doing it for you, like for your approval, if that makes sense. Like you want to know and be happy with what you're doing, and it's not so much about whether other people are approving of it. Of course, if you get that, that's beautiful, but you're not doing it specifically for that. And with the Knight of Cups here, I feel like you're leaving behind this need to constantly, I want to say walk towards something, but I don't know. I feel like for many of you, you are leaving behind this need to fight for relationships that aren't reciprocal for you, that aren't pouring into you. You're leaving behind this need to walk towards people who don't respect and honor you, people who don't see you for who you are and appreciate that naturally. Like you're leaving behind this need to impress others. You're no longer doing things to impress others, and you're leaving behind any relationships that make you feel like you need to work to impress them. Like in the sense of like, they're not going to give you attention unless you're working a whole lot and putting a whole lot of effort in to impress them. And that's what you're leaving behind, because it's like you're cultivating a greater sense of self-worth and self-love, and you're starting to see your own value and the value that you bring and the love that you have within you. And because you're kind of like enveloping yourself in your own love, you no longer feel the need to seek that validation outside of you. So one big thing here too is that you're leaving behind the need to seek validation. And I think that's huge. That's amazing, pal, too. Like you're really coming into your own, and you're stepping into your own self. You're almost stepping into the leadership of your your own life and making decisions that are good for you because you love yourself and you want the best for yourself and you don't want to deal with the ticky-tackiness. All right, let's see. Oh no, first let's get your messages from your ancestors. And then we're going to take a look at these two cards. We have the Empress here. That's, wow. The 3, okay, so 3 is being highlighted again. The 3 of Cups. We have Pranayam and Voyage. Oh, sorry. Okay, I just remembered. So when I was shuffling for this, your ancestors really wanted this card to be reversed. So I'm going to read the reverse message. But one thing that's coming to me intuitively is that you may have been on a voyage of sorts of trying to figure out who you are, and you're finally coming to an end of that voyage. It's finally like you're starting to understand who you are, and so you don't need to keep looking outside of you for that validation or for that. Like the image that comes up is of somebody who keeps watching tarot readings, for example, on who they are or what to expect like in their life, or tarot readings to describe them and stuff like that. Not that those are bad things, those are, you know, they're fun tarot readings, but like somebody who heavily relies on that to gain a sense of self is what you're walking away from, because you're no longer putting that in the hands of an external thing. You're taking that into your own hands. And then with the Empress and the 3 of Cups here, it's like I'm getting the message that like you're enjoying your life much more. Things are becoming much more enjoyable, and I find it interesting that this Empress is coming on top of Figs. So there's definitely a message of fertility here. Huge things like fertile ground, lots of things that you may have planted previously are coming through. For some of you, you may be entering a new friendship relationship. You may be expanding your friendships and your friend circle. You might be making new friends that are much more in alignment with who you are right now and who are willing to celebrate who you are as you are, not expecting you to be who they want you to be in order to celebrate you. They're much more accepting of all of who you are, and even if that's different from them, they accept you as you are, and because of that, the friendship grows stronger in bonds. So yeah, I see a new friendship definitely flourishing here for you guys, but your finances are also being highlighted again, so, and celebration somehow. So there's more joy and more like, there's just a joyous energy, and I feel like your ancestors are coming through to be like, enjoy this period of time where things are blossoming, where you're stepping through this portal of fertility, of just smooth sailing is also what I'm hearing. And that might seem a little bit scary for some of you, but I'm hearing it's okay, because you are protected, you are provided for. So this smooth sailing is exactly what you have earned through the hard work that you've put in, and continue to like put in that work towards yourself. We're gonna see in the extended what you're currently doing that's helping this, and what you can do to help bring these blessings in. But I feel like your ancestors are saying to just continue moving. Take a break when you need it. When you need those breaks, take it. But I feel like you're starting to recognize when you need a break, and you're starting to take it. Or at least you're starting to recognize when you need the break, and give it to your, like, be like, okay, I recognize at that moment I needed a break. So next time that happens, I'm going to for sure take the break that I needed. Yeah, okay. Ooh, I love this. So because we got this for the blessings that are coming in, we have the King of Swords here and the Star. the blessing is that you're becoming a star of some sort. For those of you who are in the spotlight, you're definitely reaching new heights. This could also be getting a greater position in your current job or in your current company, or moving to another company and getting a higher position there. If that doesn't apply, this is about your healing journey. Like you're finally coming to this place of, in the traditional Rider-Waite, the lady on the star is naked. And so it's like you're seeing all of you. You're finally singing to your own tune. You're finally I want to say calling out, sending that signal out to the universe that you're ready to experience all the things that you want to experience. You're ready for having these experiences in life. You're ready for having these beautiful friendships and, whatever other experiences you want in life. You're ready for that. And with the King of Swords here, I feel like another blessing is your boundaries too. You're starting to be more expressive. Ooh, I love that is another thing. You're being more expressive. Notice how even out of the King of Swords, we have this ice trail or whatever coming out of his mouth, and the star, she's blowing into this horn. Sorry. But this looks to me like you're being more expressive about your needs and about your desires, and you're not sugarcoating it. You're not not to say that you're demanding it in an aggressive way, but rather that you're expressing it without feeling bad about it, or without having to drop cookie trails or whatever they're called, cookie crumbs, and expect people to pick up. Rather than doing that and then being disappointed because the person didn't catch your hints, you're just straight out saying what you want. And this could be, again, to the universe at large. This doesn't have to be to any specific person, but you're just becoming much more expressive. And you're not holding your thoughts back, but rather you're exploring them, and the thoughts that you feel are necessary to be expressed, you're expressing those, and the ones you don't, you dealing with them and moving on. So I also wanted to read from the guidebook for these two cards. All right, we have Voyage. Get ready, you are about to embark on a journey. It might be an inner sojourn, or an outer voyage to a distant land. It might be a project or idea that is coming to life, but most certainly you are an intrepid traveler sailing forth into the unknown. Where do you want to go? What have you always wanted to do or be? This is the time to make it happen. Get prepared. Have a clear vision of what you want to experience, but also be prepared for the unexpected. That is part of the exhilaration of being a traveler. Remember to enjoy the journey as much as reaching the destination. I also heard while I was reading that there may be some unexpected things that come through this blessing, some challenges and things like that, but because you have that faith and you're walking through this portal of greater self-awareness and greater faith in yourself, you have the ability to deal with the unexpected and learn from it and grow and continue moving forward without having to fear it and hold yourself back out of that fear. So I also wanted to read Pranayam. All right, so for some reason this is but for some reason this is sticking out to me. It's on page 69. I don't know why those types of things are coming up in this reading, but hey, it's part of life. But this could also be speaking to the yin and yang energy, so you could just be balancing your own feminine, masculine energy, or for some of you, if you have a divine counterpart, you guys are moving through that and that is becoming more harmonious. So we have pranayam, which is the control of breath. You have inhaled the beauty, joy, and magnificence of life and exhaled the toxicity, stagnancy, and dullness. Now it is time to use the prana energy you have cultivated deeper towards your truth. With this control of the breath, you can control your life. So where would you like it to go? Wow, that's exactly what this Voyage card was talking about. If you're seeking more rest, tranquility, and luxury, breathe slower. If you're seeking more energy, speed, and rajas, which is just like fire in your life, breathe faster. Through pranayam, controlled breath, you can decide how you want to feel and when. Begin the study of various pranayama practices such as alternate nostril breathing and breath of fire. Use it in your life to magnetize your direction. Breathe. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Repeat 6 times before continuing to read. Just this practice will change the rest of your experience with this deck. How we breathe is how we live. Have your breaths been fast, shallow, and rushed? Has your life had similar qualities? When we move through our breath without observance, we move through our lives without observance. Life is meant to be cherished, inhaled, devoured. Whenever things seem to be moving too quickly for words, come back to your breath, especially those times when you feel like you can't take an extra 30 seconds off to breathe. That is when you need it most. Time is your perception. You choose how fast it moves. So working with your breath and your life force energy, those two things are the messages that your ancestors wanted to give you. It's like they want you to work with this breath of fire, work with your inner flame, and call on them when you need help. Specifically, if you keep seeing repeating 3s, I think that's your ancestors reaching out to you to maybe be more mindful of that situation, whatever is going on in that moment. And maybe in that moment, if you're being too stressed, you need to take a moment to breathe. So pile 2, if you're not joining me in the extended, this is where I'm going to leave your reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this reading for you. And thank you so much, pile 2's ancestors, for coming through. If this reading resonated with you, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more, if you haven't already, and turn on the notifications so you're notified when I upload. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I'll catch you in another video or reading. Bye. Hello, pile 3. You've chosen the rose quartz heart. I'm going to keep your crystal right here. And actually, before we look at your card, these are your message cards from your ancestors, and we'll keep those for the end. But before we take a look at your card, I actually had a lot of different messages come in. So between this pile and the other 2 piles, I had to take a break, and it is now the new moon, and I feel like that is significant for you. So the message that I got was that I feel the part of the blessing coming in for you is that you're embarking on a new journey. You're taking like the first step on a new journey. Some of you, like, this could be like a pregnancy. For others of you, this could be like taking the first step to learning a new skill, or maybe implementing a new health routine. Like, whatever the situation is for you guys, there's this first step being taken, and that's part of the blessing. Part of the blessing is that you're finally being able to take that first step. It's like something is in its infancy and you're taking the first step. The other thing I got is that for some of you, you may be finally cleaning out something that you've been wanting to clean out. Like, this could deal with like actually in your home or something in your physical environment, or it could just be like energetically cleaning out something that you've wanted to from the past. The third thing that came up was that there's something new that is somehow going to enter your life, but there's going to be a feeling of familiarity with that new thing. Also, I had to replace the candle, so I feel like that's significant as well. This is a new candle, so it's like something new. Again, like, there's just a lot of freshness in your pile, a lot of new energy, a lot of, yeah, like newness. And your ancestors came through to like give you this message of like counting your blessings. They specifically said that they encourage you to start counting your blessings because you already are blessed. Like, you already have so many blessings in your life, and counting the current blessings, no matter how big or small these things might be, is going to open you up to even greater blessings. And like, it's just going to open your life up to even bigger blessings. And the message that came through was like, there seems to be some resistance to receiving blessings or acknowledging them. And yeah, somehow just counting your current blessings. Like maybe that's what you are working on, or maybe that's the thing that you're releasing, is the resistance to receiving blessings, the resistance to receiving in general. And you might be becoming more open to that. So now that all of those messages are out of the way, let's finally take a look at your card. We have, wow, purification with Snapdragon. Gemini could be significant. There's a lot of air energy on this card, and not every card in this deck has a zodiac sign that's associated with the element they show. So in your case, because we have that, I'm specifically getting a whole lot of air energy, which deals with the mind, communication, and also freshness, a fresh new beginning. With purification, again, it kind of goes back to everything we were just saying, which is just wild, because I definitely did look at these cards. But yeah, there's something being purified here, freshness coming in, that cleaning. So something being cleansed to bring in the pure, like a pure energy, a new energy, something fresh. Maybe some old things are being revamped. I could see this as like if you've had old furniture and now you're finally getting the time to, like, you know, paint it or revamp it, or maybe get new furniture or something along those lines. But there's definitely this cleansing happening. And I also wanted to mention 41, which breaks into a 5. So there's this energy of change. And I guess purification is a change as well. You're changing what was once maybe dirty or lacking in like life, and bringing new life to it. You know, like I said, the example that keeps coming up to me is like furniture that has been looking dull and kind of sad for days now. It's like it's been there for a while and it needed a revamp, and it's finally getting it. And once it gets that new paint and the whatever, you know, new hardware, it looks so much better. It looks like brand new. And so something like that is coming in for you. I feel like the blessing is you're finally taking that step and embarking on something new, and it's purifying the energies around you, and yeah, bringing a sense of freshness in. So it's almost giving me spring vibes, like maybe spring could be somehow significant for you, or for this blessing to really take form. But now let's take a look at your tarot cards. So because I chose this deck for you, I have a feeling that for some of you, your ancestors may come from like forests, or like we're very connected to earth and to trees and things of that nature. Yeah, there's that feeling of being connected to the earth, like very much grounded in the earth. So your ancestry could come from places like that, which are more foresty, more like woody, I guess, where your background and your culture could just be a little more grounded in the earthy realms, if that makes sense. So now let's see what blessing is coming in for you, pile 3. Pile 3's ancestors, what blessing is coming in for pile 3? We have the 3 of Wands. Somehow 3, like Gemini is also associated with 3. So somehow the number 3 is really significant. And 3 deals with like our community and our communication, and our siblings as well. Somehow siblings could be important here. But with the 3 of Wands, it's again that energy of moving towards something new, finally taking the steps to move towards a goal of yours, or a new vision, a new plan. There's just movement. Like the blessing here is movement. There's finally movement happening. I want to take one more card. Pile 3's ancestors. Ooh, that fell, but that's, one second. All right, we have the Queen of Wands. So with these two, it's like your blessing is that you're moving towards something that's making you feel much more alive and vibrant and more like yourself. So again, like that message of something new that feels familiar is coming through. So like this could also be that you are finally making some changes on a personal level. This could be like your outfit, your hair, your like look, the way you present yourself. Something about that is changing and you're moving towards a look that is much more authentic to who you are right now. And this feels like moving towards the things that make you feel happy and alive inside. And jumping for joy keeps coming in my head. So it's like this blessing is giving you this feeling of jumping for joy. See what's at the bottom of the deck here. We have the Six of Cups. So yeah, like this feeling of familiarity, something from the past could also be being revitalized or changed. I also feel with the Six of Wands is that you're rewriting your story. And that might be what we have here with purification as well, as that somehow this blessing is that you're rewriting your story. And I feel like you're becoming more magnetic and more like captivating is the word that's coming up. And I feel like you're pouring in more love to you, and because of that, you're moving in the direction that makes you feel good and that brightens your day or that brightens you up. And because of those steps that you're taking towards like okay, so the example that's coming to me is like if you've been wanting to learn a specific skill for so long or try something new for so long, and you're finally taking that step because you're like honoring your desire, and you're finally taking that step and you're just enjoying it so much that you like outwardly are starting to radiate and become magnetic because you're just living in this energy of enjoyment and you're having so much more fun. Or even if like that message that came up earlier, if you wanted to clean something so bad, like you've been wanting to clean this thing out for so long now and it's finally happening, you're finally taking the steps to do that. That is making you feel so much more lighter, so much more alive. Like, oh, I finally got that done. And I'm so happy. I'm so glad. Like, there's something here about your energy becoming lighter. And as a result of that, you're radiating that lightness outwardly. You're becoming more magnetic. You're looking better. You're feeling better. And that is leading you to take more steps towards that feeling. Like, and letting go of anything from your past. Like the Six of Cups deals with our childhood, nostalgia, things of that nature. So I could see this in two different ways actually. Your ancestors are saying that one, you're releasing any past like identities that no longer feel right for you now, with love for those identities and where they've brought you. And the other thing is like you're looking at your journey so far with like nostalgia and with love for how far you've come, and that's helping you to set your sights on what you want moving forward. I also feel the blessing that's coming in here is that somehow you're being noticed. Again, because you're being like, you're looking radiant and you're exuding that radiance, you're entering this magnetic energy. And so you're being noticed. Like people are starting to take more notice of you. And I feel like that's opening up more opportunities for you. So that could look like opportunities in your business if you have a business, or opportunities in your work if you have a job or something like that. Or this could be opportunities in relationships, or any opportunity really. Maybe this could be travel opportunities, like, you know, those could be opening up too, because the Three of Wands can sometimes deal with travel. And so for some of you, this blessing could be traveling as well. Finally having the energy and like the desire to make your dreams a reality. And some of your dreams could be to travel, and so you're making that a reality by taking the first steps. Some of you, this is very specific, I'm hearing moving. So if you've been wanting to move, I see that as a possibility here, as a blessing here, because maybe that opportunity to move hasn't come up yet. Maybe your finances weren't right. Maybe timing was just not right. Maybe the area you wanted to move to was not, like you couldn't find something there, or something along those lines. But somehow, because you're entering this like magnetic energy and you're just radiating, and maybe that's why the message came up from your ancestors to start counting your blessings, because by doing that, I feel like that's going to shift you into this like magnetic energy even quicker. But that energy is almost opening the door for you to move, if that's what you want. Like, it's opening a door to opportunities is what I'm hearing. It's, yeah, this purifying is you cleansing your own energy, things from the past, anything that may have put you in a feeling of like bleh. The blessing here is that that stuff is being cleansed. This new fresh energy is coming in, and you're feeling it. Like, you're really feeling yourself. And by being, again, radiant, opportunities are opening up for you. More and more things are opening up. It's like the horizon is opening up for you, and now you can see with greater clarity the steps you can take to move towards wherever you want to move. Like, if this is a physical move, you now have the steps in front of you to make that move happen. If this is a travel opportunity, you have that, you know, apply it to your situation, whatever it is. But yeah, I just see the blessing is that you're becoming much more radiant, and opportunities are opening up through this cleansing process. So now let's see what doorway is opening up for you. I kind of feel like we did touch on that. I feel like this doorway is just freshness, a new energy, but let's just see what your ancestors want to say. Pile 3's and ancestors. What doorway is opening up for them? I would say clearly a really big doorway is opening up for you, and I'm pretty sure that card that flipped was the Emperor. And now you have the Magician and the High Priestess. So I wonder what's at the bottom. We have the Six of Wands. So there's a lot of 6 energy coming through here. Okay, wow. So the doorway that's opening up for you, Pile 3, is the doorway to your manifestation. So anything you've been manifesting, like manifesting not just by putting in the physical work, but also the emotional and spiritual, or like energetic work. Anything that you've been setting intention, like heavy intention towards. For some of you, because we saw the Emperor coming out, this could be related to like a leadership position, or somehow being a leader in your life. We also have the Six of Wands at the bottom. So this could be dealing with being seen again, like being in the spotlight somehow. Maybe this is like you've been wanting to be recognized for a promotion, or maybe you've been wanting to be recognized by a specific person, I'm also hearing. So take what applies to your situation, but there's some recognition happening here, and this doorway that's opening is allowing you to be recognized. Whatever it is that you wanted to be recognized for, or whatever you've been working to manifest, that's the doorway that's opening. It's like you're finally we got that message in the beginning of you taking the first step. And the first step I'm hearing is two different things. The first step was the intention you set for the manifestations you want. Now with this doorway opening, there's going to be an actual first step that you're taking through this doorway that is then leading to like your manifestation actualizing and coming in. But this doorway is pretty big. It's like a huge doorway. It's nothing small. Like, you're actually walking through a pretty big doorway here, or the doorway's opening up. Obviously, whether you walk through it or not is your choice, but I'm seeing for most of you, like, this is something that you've been asking for, something that you've really wanted and desired. So I would be really shocked if you didn't walk through that doorway. For other, like, what I'm hearing is that there may be some initial resistance out of like a fear of things going wrong, or like it being too good to be real. And your ancestors are saying to sit with that, because you're going to uncover a lot more about yourself by sitting with that that feeling. And I'm getting a huge thing right now. There's something that you were specifically like about to give up on, or about to give up on, or just be like, oh, I'm done with this. I don't think it's gonna work out for me. Something along those lines is coming through. And whatever that thing is, I feel like that's exactly what this doorway is opening up. It's like you went through the full spectrum of emotions when it came to that thing, and you may have been ready to give up on it, or just start on something new, or I'm also hearing that some of you did kind of hit a reset button with this thing, and that reset or that refresh of energy, and if it's not something you've already done, this is something that is happening with this blessing that's coming in, is that refresh is exactly what's bringing your manifestation in. So whatever it was that you felt like giving up on, you kind of lost a little bit of hope on it. Like, you weren't too certain that it was going to happen. Like, you really hoped it would, but you were kind of like, I don't know, this seems a little bit far-fetched, or it's just not happening, like it's being delayed, or there's some type of resistance. So I don't really know if this is even for me, or if I should continue to pursue this. I'm hearing that is what's changing. Like, that's the doorway that's opening for you. So this could be in a number of things. Maybe for some of you, you've been wanting to move, like it's been a big desire of yours, or maybe you've been wanting to travel to a specific area and you've kind of lost hope on that. And I feel like that's what's working out here. So apply it to your situation. Okay, and there's also this very specific message coming through. If you lost a grandmother, and it was like a significant thing that happened in your life, specifically a grandmother is coming through. It was like a significant moment. It was kind of like a little bit, what's the word? Like, it shook things up a little bit. That, the doorway that's opening up, I feel like is being opened up by this grandmother of yours, so that you can complete a hope that she had for you, or that you had. And like this grandmother of yours really wants you to experience this thing that you were hoping for, and now that she's on the other side, she's opening that doorway up for you to actually experience that. Now, that's not obviously going to be for all of you, but that message is definitely coming through for someone in specific. I just heard that. And the other thing I'm getting, the last thing here with this doorway, because we have the Magician and the High Priestess, and this could sometimes look like a couple. Some of you, there's a very spiritual connection coming in, or if you're already in a relationship, this doorway is opening up for greater understanding between the two of you and working on your relationship. Maybe if you guys have both been like working on your separate things and it's been tough to like actually work together, there seems to be like this doorway opening up space and time for you to come together and actually just spend some time with each other. And if you're not in a relationship, this could be that you're meeting somebody who feels very spiritually connected to you. Like somehow you guys feel very like spiritually drawn in, and maybe because the blessing, like you are just becoming more radiant and more magnetic, you're like drawing that in for you, and it feels like a relationship that could be from like a past life relationship or something where you just feel familiar with this person. It may even be a new relationship, but there's this sense of familiarity. And if that's what you've been manifesting, then this is just confirmation for that. So now let's see what you're leaving behind. One second, let me reset my camera. Great. Pile 3's ancestors, what are they leaving behind? That's very fascinating. So this is the Star card. This is the exact card that came out in pile 1. And then we have the Hierophant at the bottom. Again, a lot of major arcana. Like maybe this time, like there's just this doorway or this portal opening for a lot of major shifts. But what you're leaving behind with the Star and the Hierophant is the need to do things based on how you did them in the past, or how things have been done maybe in your family. Like you're moving away from doing things how they were done at one point, and you're, again, this purifying energy is coming in, so you're doing things differently. You're shaking up your routine. This could even be like, this could deal with like a routine or a pattern that you've been in. Like the example that's coming to me is like if you've been in specific relationship patterns, you're moving away from that. Or if you've been in specific patterns dealing with work or whatever the situation is, there seems to be this moving away from the way you always did things or the patterns that you always found yourself in. This could even be a home for some of you, like a place where you've lived for a really long time. You're finally moving away from that place because it's no longer like in alignment with you. Again, this energy of moving. And it might be a really big move that's happening. For others of you, you might be moving away from a relationship, actually, like a marriage. If that doesn't apply, don't take that message. But if you'll know that, like, okay, this marriage or this relationship hasn't been working, and so you likely are already going through that situation to separate, and this is just confirming that, like, for those of you who that applies, if your marriage is fine and you're not in the talks of that or anything like that, don't take that message. That's not for you. But this could be that if you are in a marriage, like the dynamic between the two of you could be changing because you're moving away from how you did things in the past, and you're trying to figure out what's going to work for your guys' changing selves right now. Like, what do you guys need right now, and how do you guys need to show up currently? Because maybe the past ways aren't working anymore. Like, I'm thinking of if you went from just the two of you to now having kids or even pets, like now you guys have this responsibility, and you're gonna need to change things up. So some of you, I see that happening here. For some reason, a lot of like marriage and relationship stuff keeps coming up in your reading in specific. So I'm taking it that for many of you, this move is happening in that arena, but that's not going to be for all of you. And what I'm feeling with this star card is like you've wanted to reach for the stars. You wanted this was your goal, this was your idea, this was your ideal, but you've been stuck here in this place, in this tree, in this thing that isn't this star. Like you've been stuck in a place that isn't allowing you to move to the stars. It's like you're here, but you really want to be somewhere else. And that's where you're moving away from, is like you're moving towards where you want to be and moving away from where you have been right now. So this could apply to a number of things. Again, this could be like a home. This could be like a feeling, even like you've energetically been feeling one type of way, but you've really wanted to be here and feeling this type of way. And so you're moving towards that. This could be, again, apply it to your situation, so many things, but movement keeps coming up. So that's definitely a big blessing. That's the main thing here, is that there's a cleansing happening and a movement because of that cleansing. You know, I'm hearing that you're bringing more love and vitality into your life, and you're finally allowing yourself to dream big. You're moving away from limiting your dreams to the box that, you know, maybe other people have said is realistic. Like you're moving away from limiting yourself to what other people deem as realistic, and you're starting to open yourself up to new possibilities. You're moving away from doubting that things can happen for you, and from using that word realistic to limit your growth, or to limit your ideas, or to limit your desires. And instead, you're starting to take that and be like, okay, how can I realistically make this desire happen? Instead of just doubting it, or instead of just saying that it's not realistic, how can I make it realistic? And yeah, like you're moving away from that limitations that have been placed on you from your parents, from society, from school, from anything of that nature. Like you're moving away from any limitations that may have been placed on you that stopped you from reaching for your goals, reaching for the stars, reaching for what you actually want. And because you're entering this magnetic energy, you're like, but what if I just finally give myself the chance to just dream about it and just allow the dream to flow, instead of like cutting that dream off and being like, oh, but that's not realistic. What if I just let the dream happen and see how I can possibly make it a reality? Yeah, like there's something here of like you're not limiting yourself anymore. You're walking away from that sort of limitation, or that limiting mindset, that limiting belief that you can't have your dreams, or that you can't even dream about what you want. However it goes for you, there's this feeling of walking away from situations or from mindsets that limit your growth and your potential and keep you from dreaming big, or just dreaming about the desires that you have already in your heart. And maybe that's what this first step is all about. This first step is you finally taking that step to walk towards your dreams, or to walk away from something, a situation. For some of you, again, like somehow marriage keeps coming up. If you've been in a really poor marriage, or maybe in a really bad situation, or relationship or job or whatever, apply it to your life or to your situation as it applies. But if you've been in that thing and you've just felt kind of like stuck, or maybe like you know what you desire, but you are afraid to go after it because you felt committed to something, to this situation that isn't serving you anymore, I feel like you're finally developing the courage to take that first step to move away from it. And that first step that you're taking is almost creating a domino effect where it's bringing you, like, the path is unfurling in front of you so that you can truly move away from this situation. And for many of you, I feel like I just got this message from your ancestors that you've already done that. You've already taken that first step. And that's what this purification is all about, is like you've taken that first step and now you're cleansing it out. Again, this doesn't have to be as big as like a marriage or a relationship. This could be like the travel thing, or like your housing situation, or your job, or literally anything. Maybe just in your home, you've been feeling like getting rid of certain things and downsizing your material possessions, and like you're now finally taking that first step. But somehow there's like a courage that you stepped into, this courage to take that first step, and that's what's opening the path in front of you. And that's what this doorway is representing as well. Like, this doorway is a direct result of you having already taken that first step, or you're about to take that first step in cleansing something out. And I think the energies during this time are really just helping you with that. It's helping you do this. It's almost like working with you, like your ancestors are saying that this is the perfect time, because the energies are supporting this type of work. It's supporting you in this area. So now let's take a look at your advice cards from your ancestors. So we have the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups. We have Dhyan, and we have Wisdom. So it's kind of interesting because Dhyan is focus, determination, like being focused in on something. Your ancestors are encouraging you right now to focus in on your goals, or on you, like on your progress, on your journey. Focus in on that. Hone in on one thing. So if this was like in the beginning, I mentioned how for some of you this could be like wanting to learn a new skill and finally taking that first step to do it, and leaving behind the mindset that you don't have the time or the energy or this or that, whatever excuses that may have come up in the past. This is a message from your ancestors to focus in on that. Really give it your all and learn as much as you can from that situation, because it's really going to help you grow. Not only like grow in terms of that skill, and you know, if this applies to a skill, apply it to whatever situation you're going through. But not only is it going to help you grow in terms of that thing, but it's going to help you grow as a person. It's going to help you grow into who you have been wanting to be for so long. Like, it's going to help you grow into that version of you that you've been kind of idealizing. And your ancestors are saying, like, you already have the wisdom within you to be that person. You already have the gifts and skills within you to be that person. And it's just about focusing in on that. It's not about seeing yourself as separate from your, like, idealized version of yourself, or not seeing yourself as separate from the highest version of yourself, but rather seeing yourself as that person right now, because you have, again, everything within you to be that person. You already on some level are that person. You may not be expressing all of those traits outwardly just yet, but they do exist within you, and maybe they're dormant and they just need a little bit of like fire to wake it up. But I kind of want to read from the guidebook for this. I'm actually also hearing, because we have a lot of water here, it's giving me the message that instead of focusing on a specific like end goal or where you want to be, focus on the step that you're taking right now. So just focus in on what you're doing right now and try to do that with as much intention and as much presence as you can. Bring as much what's the word, like intention, like intentionally focusing in on it, so you're really being present with whatever it is that you're doing right now, because your ancestors are saying the work you're doing right now, whatever steps you're taking right now, even if it's as simple as cleaning your house or cleaning your room or changing your diet or whatever, like changing your wardrobe, I don't know. Even if it seems simple to you, each step is actually really important, and focusing on that step and bringing more intention to that step is going to be huge in moving you out of your situation, or out of any current situation. Like it's going to be monumental, is what I'm hearing, to your end goal, even if it doesn't seem that way now. It's like these small steps are actually the most important thing. That's where your learning and growth is going to happen. That is where you are going to change. That is where your greatest like epiphanies, I'm also hearing, are going to come through the small things, the small steps, because you're so honed in and you're so present with it. You're seeing the wisdom in it. You're seeing, even if you don't see it in the moment, you'll see it afterwards. But there's a great deal of like learning confirmation that's coming through that, focusing in on each step. And definitely a feminine ancestor. I'm specifically feeling a grandmother is coming through here. I'm also hearing for some of you to light a candle, because lighting a candle could be really significant. Like even with this 3 of Wands here, lighting candles and setting intention in those candles could be helpful in bringing these blessings in, or just giving you that energy. Like, you know, lighting a candle is almost symbolic for lighting the fire within us. So it could help you light the flame within you as well. So I'm also hearing to purify your emotions, so allow things to flow. I'm seeing like this vision of a flowing, like this flowing river, and that flowing river is your emotions, is your tears, is your emotional baggage that you may have carried with you over your lifetime. Allowing that to flow, allowing for that flow to happen, maybe crying, you know, just allowing for the emotions to flow out of you, however that is for you, however that looks for you, is something your ancestors are encouraging you to do right now. Because I feel like that lightness that will come from you allowing the emotions to flow out is going to make you feel like magnetic, radiant, just so much more in tune with your own fire, with your own desires, with you. All right, let's read Dhyan. Concentration and meditation with the intention to know the truth. When was the last time you fully became immersed in what you were doing? Dhyan is when the dancer becomes the dance, the singer becomes the song, the painter becomes the paint, the lover becomes the love. There is no difference between the doer and the deed. You merge as one. You have pulled the Dhyan card to remind you that now is the time to transition from doing to embodying. Find that which you can merge with and practice it fully. Become the words in your journal, the asana in your practice, the nature with which you surround yourself, and notice your presence expand. Fear, loneliness, jealousy, sadness, and anger all come from the same source, separation. The illusion that we are separate from all around us fundamentally creates the human condition of suffering. Our identities are temporary states or being. You are being you. Wait, our identities are temporary states or being. You are being you. I am being me. The bird is being a bird. The tree is being a tree. However, we all arise from the same source, Atma, which is like soul, consciousness. Through dhyan, the practice of deep concentration, you can be fully immersed with that which you are concentrating on and experience oneness. With this, you are experiencing a glimpse of your soul. You are the sunlight, the earth, the moon, the soil, and you are never alone. And I feel like your advice here and the message from your ancestors is to continue to see things from that beginner's mindset, from that fresh mindset. And I feel like that's the blessing that's coming in anyways. But not being afraid to start something new, not being afraid to learn something new and to dive into new things, because ultimately you know that it's just creating greater wisdom, it's creating greater knowledge, it's expanding you and bringing you closer to yourself, because all of those things are just teaching you more about yourself at the end of the day. If you're not joining me in the extended, this is where I'm going to leave your reading, Pile 3. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. Thank you so much, Pile 3's ancestors, for coming through. If this reading resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell icon so you're notified when I upload. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I'll catch you in another video or reading. Bye. Hello, Pile 4. You've chosen the amethyst. We're going to keep your crystal right here. And let's take a look at your cards. So these are your message and advice cards from your ancestors. We'll look at that in the end. And before I look at your cards, I just wanted to say that I got a few messages before, and there's a lot of fiery and passionate energy that seemed to be coming up. Specifically, the word stimulation kept coming up. So I feel like during this time, this blessing that's coming in for you is some type of stimulating energy. Yeah, like there's just passion, a lot of fire. I also hear that a skill or something that you weren't able to do before is something that you're now being able to do, or it's becoming easier. Like, again, this could be literally anything. Just anything that you weren't able to do before, you are now being able to do, and it's becoming easier to do it, or it's becoming easier to do it. Or there's something that you think you can't do that you're trying and finding out that actually you can do that thing. But yeah, like your ancestors just wanted you to know that there's a lot of things happening for you, so just be ready. Continue to tap into your spirit, and there's like a hermit energy also coming through. So maybe you've been in hermit mode for a while and things are now like activating, like there's momentum building, or you're coming out of hermit mode and you're finally starting to explore and, you know, apply it to your situation. But maybe some of you need some hermit energy. I don't know. You need some time in rest. But let's see your cards. We have victory. Wow, that's a strong card to start off on. And trust. So one thing that's coming right off the bat is a blessing that's coming in is like you're being victorious for something, you're being crowned for something, you're being recognized for something, you're being rewarded in some way, or this is just you're becoming more victorious in your life. Like you're starting to embody that energy of victory. And I also feel like you're starting to trust yourself. So we also have Aries and Scorpio here. So Scorpio season, which is about to come up right now, could be extremely significant. I feel like you're starting to trust your intuition more, and it's leading you to greater victories. You feel more victorious because you're finally able to trust yourself, trust your intuition. We have 21, which breaks into a 3. So November 21st could be significant because that would be in Scorpio season. That would be the end of, or closing out Scorpio season. But still, like, that could somehow be significant. 44, you may have been seeing repeating repeating 4s. So a lot of 44, but 3 and 8, 4, anyways, those numbers could somehow be significant. I'm thinking of 8 because 8 is also the 8th house, which is associated with Scorpio, and we have Scorpio here. So there could be this victory in shared assets. So maybe if you have shared assets with somebody, that is expanding or somehow becoming victorious. You have shared investments. Those investments could be going well, and like you're getting some type of reward for that. We also have air coming through here. I feel like you're also becoming better at communicating, and there seems to be more open communication. So whether that's with yourself or with others, it seems like you're entering a period of time where there's more open communication. You're beginning to trust your own word. Like when you're starting to trust your communication capability, your ability to communicate, and your ability to express yourself, your ability to lead yourself too, because Aries is the leader of the zodiac. It's the first zodiac sign. Aries, which is ruled by Mars, and so is Scorpio. Scorpio is also, they're both ruled by Mars. So there's a lot of Mars energy, which makes perfect sense, because I was feeling that as soon as I tapped into your energy, your ancestors were like, bam, there's a lot of passion coming through here. There's a lot of like just spark and leadership. I think you're trusting your leadership abilities. You're becoming more of a leader in your life, or you're somehow elevating in your position. And maybe this is just the way you see yourself. You're starting to see yourself as more elevated, more of a leader. You're somehow taking more responsibility on as well, and not like, we're gonna see, but I don't feel like it's a burdensome responsibility. It's more of like you wanted to take on more responsibility, because there's greater rewards the more you have, like the more responsibilities you have. And not that's not coming out right, but like sometimes when you have greater responsibility, there's also greater rewards. And so you're kind of learning to trust that the rewards are worth the responsibility. So like the responsibilities that you're taking on are worth the reward, or they're worth it because of the reward. Somehow, something along those lines. That's what I was trying to say, and I didn't really say it right. But you're definitely trusting yourself. Your intuition seems to be heightened during this time. Like it seems like you're gonna be experiencing a lot of good luck in general. Like your blessings seem to be like more good luck, and your intuition is heightening. You're coming really deep into connection with your intuition, and you're trusting its path or its guidance, and it's leading you to victory. So that's a beautiful, like very strong way to start this reading. I also feel called to mention that because we have amethyst here, amethyst was worn traditionally by the royals. So there's somehow like you're coming to this place of feeling more regal, more royal, more elevated in life. And not that you're putting other people beneath you, but rather that you're just feeling high on life, like you're feeling good. The other thing about amethyst is that it's also associated with breaking habits, or like habits that we no longer want. So like addictions and things of that nature. So you could be working through things like that, and that could be the victory that's coming in, is that you're breaking through an addiction or addictive cycle or tendency or a bad habit that has been holding you back in some way. Like take it to what it applies, but there's that breakthrough kind of coming in. Also, because I chose this Rider-Waite deck for you guys, your ancestors could have been like initiators of something, or you are like initiating something. Like there's a energy of like being the first to do something, or being the one to break the cycle, being the first to start this new thing. Like another example of this could be that your ancestors were the first to move out of their city to a different city, or the first to do this new thing, or they were somehow like inventors of something, or there's just this energy of like being the first to do something. Or that's you, like you could be the first in your family to go to school or to go to college, or like you could be the pioneer in some way. Like either your ancestors were the pioneer or you were, or both, you know, in different areas. But there's this energy of like pioneering your own path, being the first to start something. I also right away, as soon as I tapped in, I felt like I need to go. Like there's this really strong energy of like go, go, go. So that, yeah, that is somehow important for you. So let's see what blessings are coming in. Pile 4's ancestors, what blessings are coming in for them? Did that flip? Oh no. We had the King of Swords there. I just saw him. But what blessings are coming in for pile 4? Thank you. Yeah, there's definitely an ending of a cold period, an ending of like financial stagnancy, I'm also hearing. So if your finances have been kind of taking the heat, or like you've been feeling financially just not in a great situation, this is ending. Your material world is taking a shift. Things are coming into balance. This is also a 5 and a 6, so you're elevating. Again, the blessing that's coming in is you're somehow elevating. You're moving from one thing to the next level, so to speak. Like if this was in a video game, it's like you're moving from level 5 to level 6. You're upgrading. Your life is upgrading in some way. There's also reciprocity happening here. I also feel like you're in a position now, you're moving to a position where you can finally give to others. Because maybe in the past you've been in a position where you really didn't have much to give, but now you're finally, like, this doesn't necessarily have to be financially. This could be your time, your energy, your material resources as well. But you're finally moving into this place of having more to give. Whereas in the past, again, you may not have had as much to give. But the blessing is definitely that you're coming out of the cold. Like, if you have been in hermit energy, this is you moving out of that hermit energy. You're moving into a time of, like, experiencing things, of going out there and having experiences, of getting things done, I'm also hearing. So it's like you've been in a period of maybe like stagnancy, of like in your own little bubble, and now you're finally reaching out and connecting with others and building in some way. But your finances are definitely being highlighted here. Your finances are increasing enough to where you feel balanced and capable of giving to others, if that's something you want, you know, or just feeling balanced and capable of giving to yourself. Like if there's things that you've been wanting to purchase, it's like now you actually have the finances to do so. There's more money coming in so that you can buy the things that you've wanted to purchase. I also wanted to mention that there could be, for some of you, healing happening. So like if, for example, like you haven't been feeling the greatest, you know, this could be that like you have more time to invest into your health, so you start to feel better. Take what applies. And again, with the amethyst, the blessing, another blessing that I'm seeing here is that you're breaking out of old addictive behaviors or tendencies and creating more balance in your schedule and structure. This could, again, like this doesn't necessarily have to do with money. This could be time, your schedule, like your schedule could become more balanced, where before maybe you felt like you didn't have enough time for yourself, or you didn't have enough time for the things that you wanted to do, because maybe you were working too hard, or maybe your hours weren't, lining up. Somehow your schedule is becoming freer, and so you have more time to dedicate to other things and to give to other things, whether that's other people or other pursuits. Take what applies. But yeah, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. We have the 7 of Pentacles. That is so odd. We have 5, 6, and 7. Interesting. Somehow, for this readings, there's been a lot of like sequential things. Like, I want to say all the piles had that happen, which I find to be really like odd. But something that you've been waiting on. You've been patiently waiting for something to grow, and that's happening here. That's what's growing. That's the blessing that's coming in. So let's see what doorway is opening for you. What doorway is opening for pile 4, pile 4's ancestors? What doorway is opening for them? Ooh, 9 of Cups. That's wish fulfillment. I love that. The doorway that's opening for you. Then we have the King of Pentacles. There's definitely greater finances. 100%. Your finances, your time too. Like the doorway that's opening for you is this wish fulfillment. Like anything that you've been wishing for, you're finally getting the opportunity to have that wish come true. So this could be a number of things. It could be in finances. It could be in like your personal life. It could be in relationship. It could be in so many things. In your health, anything really. Whatever you've been wishing for, you're finally having the opportunity. The doorway that's opening for you is this opportunity to get what you want, get the wish that you've been desiring, and feel more abundant. Like the King of Pentacles is highly abundant. Like he's sitting in his abundance on his throne. He's surrounded by abundance. So the doorway that's opening for you is a greater abundance. A greater abundance of time, energy, resources, whatever it is. There's a greater abundance coming in for you. This doorway is opening the ability for you to finally have the things that you've been wanting, the abundance that you've been wanting, the victory, because the King of Pentacles is sitting victorious on his throne. And somehow, like, your mind is aligning with your pursuits. That's a very specific message that's coming in. Your mind, your thoughts are starting to align with the desires that you have for your life, the wishes that you have, the things that you want to cultivate, the things you want to call in. Your mind is aligning with that. And I feel like that's what this victorious energy is here, is that your mind is aligning with that, and because of that, things are moving more steadily for you. Things are starting to enter the state of flow, because also the other thing with number 6 is harmony. So there's a change that's happening here, but that's bringing you more harmony. It's bringing you this doorway is also bringing you this feeling of peace, of like contentment, of relaxation. I'm also hearing. So, but contentment is a bigger word that's coming through. I like this. I feel like already we've moved through this reading rather quickly. Like the other last pile 3 was a long pile, but for you, I feel like there's a lot of quick energy. So this is coming in rapidly. Again, Scorpio season, which is, we're about to enter Scorpio season. So, but by the time this video goes up, we'll already be in Scorpio season. So it seems like something is coming in quick. This doorway is opening rather quickly. Yeah, there's fast energy here. So let's see what you're leaving behind. Pile 4's ancestors, what are they leaving behind? I don't know why acting just came up. Oh, wow. Okay, so we have the King of Pentacles with the 7 of Pentacles again at the bottom. What you're leaving behind is any scarcity mindsets, any feelings of like waiting for your abundance, any feeling of things taking forever to manifest, or things taking forever to come up and happen in your life. Like there's this, you're leaving behind this waiting energy, this sitting and waiting, and I feel like you're taking action now. Instead of just sitting back and just waiting, it almost feels like you're starting to take action. You're starting to do whatever it is in your power that you can do. Again, like if this is about breaking a habit, you're not just waiting for that one special day when you're not going to, need that thing anymore, or when you're going to like magically be done with it. You're not waiting anymore. You're taking that action into your own hands. You're leaving that waiting energy behind and leaving this mindset behind of like something else has to change for you to change, but rather you're starting to take these matters into your own hand, and that's what's leading you to your victory. Again, like you're taking charge, you're taking control. What you're leaving behind, actually for some of you, this could be leaving behind the need to control the seeds that you've planted, the need to keep checking in on things, the need to sit and try to control everything, and rather like you'll know which side you fall on, but for some of you it's that leaving behind the control, trying to control things, trying to control every little detail, and just allowing things to flow in and be more in that state of flow. And again, trusting the universe, trusting your intuition, trusting spirit, trusting whatever higher power, rather than trying to control everything. Yeah. And generally for all of you, I feel like you're leaving behind this need to wait on something, and you're just going for it. Like you're just, if for example you've wanted to try a new place, you're not waiting on somebody else to suggest it. You're just gonna go and try it. You're taking that matter into your own hands. You're exiting this period of like needing somebody else to be your catalyst, and choosing to be be your own catalyst, however that goes for you. Yeah, and again, the intuition, like you're trusting your own intuition, so you don't need somebody else to be there as your guide. It's almost like you're learning to guide yourself. And you're walking away from this need to be guided by another. Yeah, there's just, wow, like we're already almost done with your reading, which is crazy because this reading has gone by super fast. So for you, this is your advice from your ancestors. We have protection. We have Agnya, which is the third eye chakra. And we have Two of Wands, decision. Your advice and messages. So first, I want to start with this because I feel like that ties right into this trust card here. You're tapping deeper into your third eye, and your ancestors want you to continue to do that work, continue to practice your intuitive abilities, practice tapping into your intuition, continue to tap in, but also make sure you protect yourself when you're doing this work, because that's really important. Like again, this actually, the amethyst can also be seen as a protection stone, so that is fitting. And there's a lot of purple energy coming through here as well, so maybe keeping some amethyst on you, wearing amethyst will be really helpful in protecting you while you do any psychic type work or any tapping into your intuition. Even while you meditate, holding amethyst, keeping amethyst with you while you meditate to protect your intuition, to protect your energy, could be beneficial for you. And I feel like your ancestors, the reason they want you to protect yourself while you're doing this is because in the past, maybe if you opened yourself up to your third eye, or you opened yourself up to spiritual, like your spirit, and tried to maybe tap in or something like that, you may have unknowingly taken on a lot of other people's energies, or a lot of energies in general, because maybe you hadn't developed that ability to differentiate yet, or create those boundaries and create proper protection around you. And this time, only if you already tried that. If you haven't, then it's that they just want to make sure you're not taking on a bunch of other people's energies while you're opening yourself up. They want you to make sure you're protected and that you stay grounded in your energy, so you don't you don't experience other people's energies as your own. But if you did try this before and it didn't work out somehow, or like you ended up taking on other people's energies, they want you to be protected while you do this. And even casting a protection bubble of pure white light around you could be helpful, because that is a pretty simple way in which you can protect your energies but still be open. Like, the thing here, what I'm getting is like, the protection doesn't have to block you off from experiencing new things or from being open to connecting. Like, if anything, this protection is actually allowing you to connect even deeper, because you know that you're protected, and you have these safeguards in place, you have your boundaries in place, you know these things are in place. So now you can explore a little bit more freely, you can connect a little more deeper, even if that's just connecting to yourself even deeper, because you have a greater sense of who you are and what you're working towards. So you're not gonna just get caught in like negative beliefs or limiting beliefs, or even beliefs that are not real. Like, it also seems like you have a decision here to make of what path you're gonna go down. So like, for many of you, I feel like your ancestors are saying that this doorway is your choice. You can choose to walk down this doorway, or walk through this doorway, walk through this portal. You don't have to, but it's your choice if you want to. And if you do, the path to that choice is being made through you working on your third eye, opening your third eye. You'll know exactly the steps you need to take in order to walk through this doorway. If you choose that, you don't have to. Again, like, that's your choice. It's there. The option is in front of you. Like, this is your life, and you get to choose what direction you want to take your life in. And either way, your ancestors will support you. Either way, their energy is going to support you. Whether you choose to walk through this path or this doorway, or whether you choose not to, they're going to support you regardless. And I'm hearing like your ancestors are still here, and they're still guiding you. They're still here protecting you. They're still working with you. They're still going to be here to support you. They're never going to just drop you just because of the choice you made. And I feel like this is actually significant for your pile, because maybe you're afraid that if you don't make a specific choice, you're going to be dropped. Or if you don't make this choice, then somehow like the universe isn't going to support you, or that like God or spirit or whatever you higher power you believe in isn't going to support you, or isn't going to have your back, or isn't going to love you, or whatever, you know. And that's just not the case. That's just not true. Your ancestors are saying, no, we're going to support you regardless of what choice you make. We're going to support you regardless, and we're going to protect you regardless of what choice and decision you make. We're going to be here for you regardless. And we're going to continue to put opportunities in your path. And, you know, sometimes with this lightning, this could also be like shaking things up, changing things, putting unexpected shifts and changes in, so that you can create something new, or have a new opportunity, or just liven things up. Like, they're going to continue to do that, because that's literally their job in a way. Like that's what they're meant to do, or that's the thing that they've taken on, that's the role that they've taken on. So they're here for you regardless. Like no matter what changes happen in your life, no matter what choices you make, no matter what path you go down, they're always going to be here for you. And they want you to connect to them directly through your intuitive practices, through meditation, because they have a lot to say to you. They have a lot of messages and insight to give to you. So if you can meditate, especially meditate with amethyst, because I feel like somehow your ancestors are connected to amethyst, or it'll just heighten your connection to them. Not that you need to, but if you do, it'll just heighten it. Either way, meditating and connecting to them, I feel like is something that they're encouraging you to do, so that they can directly give you messages, because they have a lot to say here to you. And they have a lot of love to give to you. And encouragement as well. They have a lot of encouragement. And maybe it'll help you gain clarity on the choices that you need to make in your life, and on the path that you need to choose, or on what direction you need to go. This will help you make that choice by tuning in. Like they'll give you more clarity and more insight into the different options that are in front of you in a more objective way, so you can make the choice that's best for you. Pile 4, thank you so much for allowing me to do this reading for you. This is where I'm closing it if you're not joining me in the extended. Thank you so much, Pile 4's ancestors, as well, for coming through. If this reading resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Be sure to hit the bell icon so you're notified when I upload. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I'll catch you in another reading or video. Bye.